Grateful to you for choosing us. Let's begin the bulletin from Parliament, where Supreme Court nominee Justice Dzamefe has thrown his support behind the appointment of more justices to the Apex Court, citing a growing workload on the bench. His comments come following his nomination alongside 6 other Court of Appeal judges by President John Dramani Mahama to the Supreme Court. In 2024, the then minority in Parliament opposed the nomination of Justice Sophia Benasco-Essa and Professor Richard Frimpong upon accusing the former president of packing the courts. But during his vetting on Monday, Justice Dzamefe said increasing the number of Supreme Court judges is necessary to enhance efficiency. The Appointments Committee of Parliament convened on Monday to begin vetting the 7 Court of Appeal judges nominated to the Supreme Court by the President. Before the vetting began, Majority Leader Alexander Afenyomakin accused the NDC of inconsistency regarding the number of justices on the Supreme Court.
This government's double standard is staggering. The same NDC that relentlessly opposed Justice Sophia Benasco-Essa and Professor Richard Frimpong upon nomination under President Akufo-Addo, crying that the court was bloated, now presents 7 nominees simultaneously. Where was their concern about court size then? This gross dishonesty and rank opportunism insult our intelligence and constitutional processes. When 2 very qualified justices sought appointment, the NDC screamed about judicial bloat. Now with 7 nominees, they discover urgent constitutional necessity. Such breathtaking inconsistency exposes an administration driven by political calculation, not constitutional principle.
But Majority Leader Mahama Yarga disagreed, insisting that the current administration must be held to account on the merits of the appointments.
This government is engaged in double standards, is totally inappropriate. I was on the Appointments Committee when the 2 nominees were rejected. And let me indicate clearly that my side of the House advocated for the rejection on the basis that at that time, the anticipated retirement of some judges, which would have created the vacancy, hadn't taken place. And there was no need in anticipation to be appointing replacements.
The vetting then commenced with Justice Dzamefe, who noted that the growing workload of the Supreme Court justifies an increase in the current number of 13 justices.
Our Supreme Court here has 3 main jurisdictions: original, appellate, and supervisory. And even chieftains cases from the National House of Chiefs Appeals go to them. It's loaded and it's virtually becoming a daily court. So I buy the argument that they are overloaded and therefore there is a need to increase the numbers.
On constitutional matters, particularly Article 60 of the 1992 Constitution, Justice Dzamefe argued that in the absence of the President, Vice President and Speaker of Parliament, the Chief Justice should act as President.
There's a lacuna there, so it has to be filled up. There shouldn't be that vacuum. So I think the Supreme Court that has the power to interpret can come out to say that when the President is not there, the Vice takes over. When the Vice is not there, is the Speaker. And if the Speaker is not there, I think there should be some express provision to say that there shouldn't be a vacuum.
So tell me your opinion. In your view,
my opinion,
who should be the next?
My opinion, the next should be the Chief Justice.
Very well.
However, his colleague nominee, Justice Sir Dennis Dominic J, expressed a different interpretation of the provision during his vetting.
My simple understanding is that it is to give legitimacy and to end the cap. So the cap has been fixed, the 3. Because why do you go? So in that sense, you also go to say that in the absence of the Chief Justice, then in the absence of that person, then what is the essence of providing for leadership in your country?
Now, former finance